The reporter from that story is Alana Rocha from the Texas Tribune, one of our media partners here at KBTX, and she is with us this afternoon to talk more about this issue bordering on insecurity. Alana, thank you for joining us. And let me ask you, because I think there is some disconnect in what's happening in Austin and what's happening in Washington. The disconnect here is the agreement on what to do first about this issue. Are you seeing that on your end?
Absolutely. We were in D.C. At the end of 2015, first week of December. We were popping into different Texas lawmakers' offices, sitting down with them, interviewing them, and hearing different items that were on the tops of their list as far as what to tackle first. So, yeah, you see a lot of disconnect not only between Austin and Washington, but within Washington itself from the top down, from Sarah Saldana, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement head, all the way down to lawmakers and, of course, local jurisdictions here in Texas.
A lot of moving parts on this, Alana, and everybody seems to like a little bit of something. Is there something, though, that they can all agree on so we can at least have some sort of a starting point to move forward on all of this?
Well, you've heard the term securing the border and how that's number one for a lot of people, but of course you ask them to define that and you get a lot of different answers. For some, it's focused on surveillance, that, being Michael McCaul, the head of the Homeland Security Committee, Austin Republican representative there, as well as, E-Verify is another one, allows companies, requiring all companies to use E-Verify, has been somewhat of a task for Lamar Smith, a congressman here out of Texas as well, because, again, people want to see it as part of comprehensive immigration reform. They see it as very much a piecemeal solution and a part of the whole. So it just varies again, but bordering, or, the securing the border seems to be number one. Again, different definitions.
And a lot of issues come about when we talk about securing the border. And Alana, I know you talked with Mike McCaul. He is the chair of the Homeland Security for the United States. What is he saying about, because one of the biggest issues that I think a lot of Texans are concerned about when we talk about securing the border, we're talking about the drugs and the human trafficking that can sometimes cross over into the Lone Star State. So what is the chair of the Homeland Security saying about all this?
Well, he's focused on defense and surveillance. He says as soon as, we have complete 100% surveillance of the border, that being air, by foot and by, truck, any means basically to come and secure the border, to watch, these undocumented immigrants crossing, those being dangerous, those just coming for work and not really knowing the difference, but, or, part of the drug trade. But he's really focused on surveillance, looking at resources that maybe are sitting in Iraq and Afghanistan that could be used and utilized again on the border, kind of recouping those resources and getting them down to the southern border or wherever is needed back here in the States.
And when it comes to our lawmakers, we do have some Texas power that is sitting on the Appropriations Committee there in Washington. Is that helping to influence policy in any way from what we're seeing out of the nation's capital?
Yes, I mean, there was a victory for Henry Cuellar, congressman out of Laredo, a Democrat who sits on appropriations. He succeeded last year to get into the budget money for Mexico to secure its southern border and, kind of stop the flow of immigrants coming north to the U.S. He's also really focused on giving more money to countries to the south of us as far as boosting their economies, making it more attractive for natives to stay in their home countries to find jobs rather than migrating north. So that's one of his focuses, as well as John Culberson, a Republican congressman out of the Houston area. He is more focused on stopping or zeroing out funding for so-called sanctuary cities, those being jurisdictions that, have refused or passed policies not to comply with federal immigration laws. The thought there being, if you're not wanting to enforce federal law, then you shouldn't be getting federal dollars.
You talked about the Homeland Security, but we've also got ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And you mentioned in one of your follow-up stories that the head of ICE has basically begged that the overall system just be wiped away, clean, start over, overhauled. Where did that go?
Short answer, nowhere. Sarah Saldana is her name. She's actually a Texan, former federal prosecutor out of Corpus Christi. And at a Senate hearing last year, she held up a stack a book that was very thick saying that this is the stack of statutes that her people have to do or deal with to enforce immigration law. My colleague Jay Root, who led our Bordering on Security series, year-long series again, calls her a bipartisan punching bag, and fittingly so. At that same hearing, she was pummeled with questions from Democrats saying that, you're enforcing the law in the wrong way as far as deporting people who aren't maybe dangerous and are part of the workforce and splitting up families, and the Republicans who say that she's not doing enough to deport the most dangerous undocumented immigrants here. So she can't really win either way. Again, a lot of the congressmen are looking to January 2017 when we have a new president, a new administration in the White House.
Alana Rocha is a journalist with the Texas Tribune, one of our media partners, and you guys are doing a fantastic job on this issue with multiple stories. It's called Bordering on Insecurity, and you can read them all at thetexastribune.org. Alana, it is always good to have you on our newscast. We appreciate your time from Austin today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to be back right